His face.
Greetings and welcome to our show. I'm here with Colin and Brabdo for a video game book club. The rules are simple. One person picks a game. You got to beat that game in a month. And if you do, you get to pick the next game for everyone to play once your month comes around. We are not skipping the extra game section of the show tonight because it was a big one for me. I beat Elden Ring. Yeah. Um, I also played.
The wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wrong way, because there's only
There's
one
no
way to beat Elden Ring.
If you didn't use a great sword,
The
it doesn't count. It's
you
not
have to
real.
be level 1 using the great sword. You have to 100% it. You have to do it with your feet blindfolded, and you can't take any damage. That's the bar for beating Elden Ring, apparently.
You just have to not be a pussy and use magic.
Yeah, you have to use one weapon the entire game.
I've never beaten a Soulsborne game, so here we are.
I also played X Defiant. That game's tight. Multiverses. That game sucks.
Yeah,
I'm going on
biggest
record.
disappointment of 2024.
That game's the
Even
future
though I
of
had low
platform
expectations.
fighters.
Yeah, no expectations and still let me down.
Still let me down. I thought it would be at least as good as the beta, but they found a way.
Played a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, not Zero Dawn. Forbidden West, because that hit PC. Death by AI. Played that.
That goes hard.
Yeah, Death by AI is tight. I think that's everything.
Rivals 2 beta.
Yeah, Rivals 2 beta. Forgot about that. And I'm also going on record. I'm buying Rivals 2 just to spite my multiverses.
But how does that spite them?
I don't know. It just makes sense in my head.
No, he didn't buy it.
How bad Multiverses was made me like platform fighters enough to invest money into Rivals. Because I was off of platform fighters, and then I realized how good of a game Rivals was after playing Multiverses.
Changed his life.
Shout out Joe.
Yeah, Joe. But yeah, X Defiant's sick. Addicted to that game.
I think that's all I really played besides Spider-Man.
Played a little bit of Diab.
Oh,
You played Diablo too.
Yep, played Diablo as well.
For 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's how long it took me to get to level 20.
I don't. Something went wrong there.
Something did go wrong.
Wait, it was like a free trial?
Apparently, I download all of Diablo on Game Pass.
Which is probably like 1 billion gigs.
Yeah, and then I get Battle.net because it makes you get Battle.net, and I play Diablo, and as soon as I hit level 20, it kicks me out saying I was on a trial version.
I don't understand how that even makes any sense because you do not have to. If you have Game Pass, you do not need to buy Diablo.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I have no idea either, but I also tried uninstalling, deleting Battle.net, uninstalling the game, reinstalling it, and it still said I was on the trial version. So I don't know what's going on
You
there.
can hop on Diablo in like.
Did you
6
Google the
months.
problem?
Yeah, and it
Google didn't know what he was
it
talking
came up
about.
with mixed things. The every problem stating that it's in the trial version is just saying that you have the trial version. There's no like some people were saying open Battle.net, and then I tried every variation of opening Battle.net and opening Windows Play Store or whatever the fuck, while also like launching the game from both of them. I've tried every combination.
Should have binged it.
Yeah. But
It's
yeah,
still
no. Horizon Forbidden West is 6 so far. Have not beaten it. But X Defiant's crazy.
How about that Spider-Man?
Spider-Man, that game is wild. If I had to describe Spider-Man in one word, it would be like over the top. That's 3 words. If I had 3 words to describe Spider-Man, it'd be over the top.
That's interesting, because not any of the words I would have chosen.
The spectacle in this game is crazy.
I was gonna say predictable.
Yeah, it's maybe like the first hour, but then it's like there's no real new shit.
Everything sets up and then it unfolds in the exact way that you would think it would.
Like in overarching story wise, yeah, I agree with that. But like I didn't expect for Mr. Negative to come out and make someone shoot themselves in the fucking head on
No,
intro
Well, that's not the intro.
of
His
of
intro.
of
His
Negative, Mr. Negative.
Oh, you mean his? I think meant the intro of the game.
No.
That's like halfway into the game.
Yeah, like, and I thought that was fucking crazy, and like just like swinging through helicopter blades and shit like that. Just like all of the big explosion set pieces that they did, the big Insomniac set pieces, I think were crazy because like shit's going crazy. People are actually like dying and stuff. Because I didn't know that they were gonna have somebody shoot themselves in the head in a Spider-Man game.
Well, I did not expect the Mr. Negative shit where they're blowing up fucking City Hall.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It just went like a little bit further than I thought it would in some areas, like. And if you fuck up in some like cases, like yeah, like people are actually fucking dead, which I think is cool. I think like some like having your actions have consequences is cool. Also,
but the immersion's kind of killed when people shoot people and there's no blood.
yeah.
My favorite is when you like push people off of buildings and they magically get webbed to the side of the building instead of falling to their death.
Brabdo brought up a good point, and I'm pretty sure we all had the same thought. Spider-Man is actually killing these bad guys in some situations, because you cannot throw a manhole cover at someone's face and have them fly 20 feet and hit their fucking back of their head on the wall.
He's hammer throwing
Well,
manhole covers at unarmed individuals, and they're getting back up.
I disagree because he just has the ability to not kill people.
Yeah.
especially if you play the DLC.
I did play the DLC.
Yeah, I mean, you're saving fucking the mob. It's kind of really fucking stupid, but.
Bro, do you like that Black Cat death fake out?
Yeah, that's like. So for the DLC, the first one's the only good one.
Right.
The other two are pretty trash, and the first one's not that great either. But the fake out's like, come on, like they want you to believe she's dead.
And then
after she just conned you.
Last DLC, oh look who's back.
Yeah, that shit was.
That was pretty whack.
And let's pick the worst villain ever.
Hammerhead, bro.
It's a dude with a steel forehead.
That is a villain of the week ass Spider-Man villain I've ever heard.
It's literally like the most filler shit of all time.
And they dragged it out, right? Like it should have just been 2 DLCs. I don't know why the last 2 should have just been 1 DLC.
Yeah, well, it's because they had to throw Sable back in.
Right, and Sable's kind of whack, anyways.
Yeah,
she's just obtrusive for no reason.
Yeah, the DLC's only worth the first one, and I guess if you want to like slightly expand on some of the Miles shit, but that's it.
And you really don't, because the Miles is like the worst part of the DLC, bro. It's so annoying.
He got his own game though.
Spider-Man, can you please teach me how to be Spider-Man?
Teach me how to swing.
Like, relax, bro.
Well, dude, that after credits scene where Miles shows Peter that he could like sit on the ceiling and they're just like staring at each other on the ceiling. I'm like, are these dudes gonna fucking kiss right now, dude? Like,
whoa.
Oh,
well, see, you didn't play the DLC, so you don't get to have the fun like side story of Spider-Man having an illegitimate child.
That's right. Perhaps. And by the way, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, one of the dumbest people on Earth, he goes, first thing he does when he finds out that he could have a dad, he goes, let me tell my girlfriend about it. What on earth? Why do you make sure first, then tell your girlfriend? What the are you out of your mind?
Yeah, he's like, it might be. I don't know.
Wonder, but listen, I don't know women, but I know a little bit. I know enough to know that was a fucking blunder and a half. And then she just gets over it. I'm like, wow. You got a winner.
I do like I like that Mary Jane tries to argue with Spider-Man every time that he's, like, doing shit. Like, he's beating the fuck out of people, and she's like, see, this is why we broke up. I'm like, I would not have this conversation right now. Like, I'm in the middle of something.
Like he must have like a dope Bluetooth headset because he's always on the phone and like web swinging at the same time. He had them AirPods.
Speaking of web swinging, it is far and away the most entertaining part of the game.
Until you have to do something about it.
Yeah, and then moving around normally is the worst.
Yeah.
It's very clunky.
You could not be accurate. I personally could not be accurate in this game. The reason why web slinging is so sick is because you don't have to be accurate at all because you're web slinging. You just need to hit a building.
Until you open up one of them Taskmaster crates that makes you do the drone thing. Then all of a sudden you have to be extremely precise, which is abysmal.
Yeah, I did one of those.
Times I had to reset.
I did one of those, got bronze, and said, I'm not doing a restart.
I think me and Brad did like an equal amount of shit. I ran around like 86%.
That's exactly what I think that's the exact number I got.
Because I think I did like all the backpacks, all the research stations, and then I fell off.
A new thing came out, I did all of them at once. Like, was the backpacks. I got before I even finished like the third mission. I got
yeah. But then they threw too much shit at me, and I'm like, I'm done doing crimes. Right. I'm done doing bases. It's like it just felt so dumb.
Sucked because you keep getting the same ones over and over again.
Yeah, it's the same chase. It's the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're very lame. The crimes.
And the
same with the bases.
The quick time event is always the same too. Like you're on the car and you always press X no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's an Insomniac classic, right? The quick time events. They just need to get that up. I mean, it's so lame.
You can turn them off. Really, I never did, but you can.
Okay, but it's still lame.
Yeah.
Like, get you through all these like forced cutscenes that are supposed to have quick time events.
Did you do all the Taskmaster shit? I'm assuming you didn't, because it's.
I did not. I did
way too hard.
I did enough to unlock the Taskmaster cutscene. I don't know what happens if you do all of them.
There's a second fight.
Oh, okay. I don't think I got to the second fight.
Some of them are some of them are stupid fucking hard. I don't even think it's worth it.
Brabdo was grinding.
I like the stealth ones though. The stealth ones were the best ones to do, in my opinion.
Somehow, like I don't even really like stealth, but the stealth is kind of more enjoyable than the actual combat.
Because you can do it so quickly, right? If you know where they're all at, it's very methodical. It can be done very fast. You just web sling in. You don't have to like creep up on them like a dummy.
And the combat is one of my biggest complaints with this game because it gets boring so fucking quick.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what difficulties did you guys play on?
Normal.
I just played on normal.
See, I played on the hardest difficulty that it let you play on before actually beating the game. I guess when you beat the game, it unlocks like 2 new difficulties that I didn't do, but I was on the hardest difficulty, and I thought that the combat was decent enough.
My issue with it is it's just like it's a little too flowcharty, and the unlocks aren't that interesting because you never really get new combos or anything.
But you unlock like the web kick, which is dope. I don't know. I didn't hate the combat system at all.
I hated the unlocks more because a lot of the unlocks are just like, oh, now you can grab guns. Oh, now you can grab big guys.
People shoot a little too much. I feel like we're gonna be totally different on here because I think that the
difficulty,
the aggressiveness of the enemies scales quite a bit.
Dodging a machine gun and still getting hit after your dodge aggravated me. The backpack
aggravated me too, but you unlock the ability for it to not drop your combo after you get hit a couple times.
Yeah, and the jetpack enemies were a bit stupid. I feel as though there was too many of them. I thought they were a good enemy.
It's a good thing you didn't play the DLC.
But that last mission where there's like 5 of them and they're all like doing RNG moves on me, I got I got stun locked by one. They did their line of red shit, and then one whipped me, and then the other shot a rocket at me, and
the game really wants you to like spam gadgets. I think if you're like sitting there pressing the button, you're just doing it wrong.
Well, that's the whole last fight is spamming gadgets because you can't really do anything to Doc Ock.
Right, but that's every single boss. That's the other thing. Every single boss fight is like the same.
Yeah. Here's their gimmick: dodge it, punch him in the face, repeat.
And then use a finisher. It's like, okay.
And then you get a cutscene.
Well, when you're fighting Mr. Negative in the subway, they like don't trust you enough to learn the gimmick, so they're just telling you the gimmick as it goes on.
Yeah, that's the fucking enemy variety is horrible.
Yeah, it's like 4.
We got like your normal guy that you just beat the piss out of, and you got like the big guy that's a little bit harder to beat the piss out of. Then you got the dude with the noodle arms, and you got the jetpack guy, and then you got the rocket launcher guy.
And guns, yeah,
And-
gun guy and the sword guy, I guess. But a lot of them like
shield guys too, which are like you just clown on those dudes, and then they stop showing up.
and you kind of fight like 3 of them all the same way.
Right.
So it's not even like the big guys. I guess you fight different, and then the flying guy. But for the most, like a guy with a rocket launcher or a guy with a sniper, you're fighting them exactly the same.
That's true. Except that
Yeah.
you can web grab the rocket if you unlock the ability to do so.
I did pretty much kill every enemy in this game the same exact way. Because I would uppercut them, and then I would hit them 3 times, and then I'd either web kick them, like shoot the web and kick them, and continue the combo, or I would web to them and continue the combo. And if somebody shot at me, I would just drop the combo and dodge instead, and then, because I'm still in the air, web sling to the next guy and keep doing it. Like that was the entire combat, the whole game.
Right.
Cause I was on normal, and it's like I mean, this is a game where I did die in.
Yeah, how many times do you think if
Do
you
I think?
died
I know
before-
exactly how many times I died. 17.
You died 17 times. Well, how many of those times that you died were like during like challenges or like?
Like a failed
I had
mission.
I had 3 failed mission ones.
God, way more than that.
No, I had 4 failed mission ones, sorry. So maybe it was 18 times. It was somewhere between 15 and 25, somewhere in there, I guess. Because I died more times than I remember. I think because it was the floor is lava one, the poison one.
Oh yeah, that was stupid.
Where you get
Where the scorpion fucking
yeah,
dude?
the scorpion
Yeah.
fight, I kept dropping in poison.
Now here's a question: was the one mission bugged for you?
Which one was that?
The one where you're fucking, it's near the end. It's I think right. You're climbing the thing and you gotta fucking deactivate these things. It's like known bugged. Which one?
No, I don't think I encountered any bugs other than the fact that the game crashed on me like a bunch, which is a running theme on my computer. It seems with these games.
I had-
you guys making me play.
I had the game crash once, and then another time at soft lock, and it started running at like 1 FPS after a cutscene. It's just this mission where you're climbing the fucking side of a building, and you have to like, I forget what you have to do, like deactivate police scanners or something.
Oh, there's like electrical boxes on the side
Yeah,
of the building.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
helicopters that are scanning. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
For
on the
some-
side of Oscorp, yeah.
And then Spider-Man would go into a T-pose.
Oh,
I did
didn't
not get that.
Yeah, I guess that's like a known thing on the PC version. Like, you have to like double tap. It's fucked. But yeah, I climbed the whole thing in a T-pose all the way up to the top.
Nice.
It's really fucking stupid. But they never fixed it, I guess.
I had no bugs, no glitches, no crashes. First time in a while that the game.
But what
gave
was
me
your
no
percentage?
problems. My percentage was 62. I did
Yeah,
nothing.
see, that's why you didn't even explore your game.
No, I explored. Here's the thing. I don't do well with collectathons, and this game is a collectathon.
I know you picked a collectathon.
You have viewpoints, you have crimes, you have police like radar scanners, like the
If a
Fallout
lot of
3
it can done
towers.
really quickly.
You have
really the thing that takes the time is the challenges and the bases. Really, those are the only two things.
And a
You
lot
have-
of but the shit that's quick is kind of like the research stations are actually fun, I think, because they mix the gameplay up a little bit.
fucking
Right.
backpacks. You find kitty cats, dude.
The bird
Like
is cool. You just grab the bird. That's all there is.
yeah,
I did all the side quests too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I also did the side quests.
yeah. At the end of the day, I just kept looking at the map, and I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. And then I just go to the yellow dot, dude, because it's like I could get sidetracked and live in this fucking game for a bit. And it wasn't even like I was rushing. Like I played the game quite a bit. but a lot of that time was just swinging around, doing a crime, like if I saw one near me. I didn't do any of the viewpoints. I think I did like 3 viewpoints. Like I'd find a kitty cat here and there, but like it's always what I
Did all
felt like
those,
doing.
But you get
it.
the sick black suit, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna get all the backpacks because I was stoked on the backpacks, but then they kept putting them in like awkward positions, and it made it slightly
didn't-
inconvenient for me.
That might be the easiest thing to
That's
do.
the easiest one to get is all the
Yeah.
back. There's like 12 of no. There's like a bunch of them, but
Well,
you kind of just get them. Like I didn't. I feel like it took me like less than an hour to get all the backpacks.
I did that like right when I started the game. It was one of the first
Exactly.
things I
As soon
did.
as you unlocked it,
yeah.
and then I had the wrestler outfit on for the rest of the game. That was definitely the best outfit.
Nah, the black cat one.
The Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit is also goated.
That's what I ran. I ran 2003 Spider-Man the whole time.
Not the brief underwear Spider-Man.
No.
I didn't unlock that one. Did you have to 100% the Black Cat DLC to get that?
I don't know.
You had to do like a lot of stuff, so I didn't get it.
That, by the way, Naked Spider-Man was wins corniest part of the game award. After you're done with the poison section, he's like, "Oh, I guess I took my clothes off," and he's
Yeah,
in
I was like, what are we doing
Spidey
here?
tights. I'm like, I'm good.
I don't. There's a lot of corny parts. This game's story is.
Yeah, it's
No.
not.
Well, it's a
I-
story that's been told 70 times, you know.
I mean, I really liked the ending. I think they really like the ending made me like, okay, I like this game. 'Cause I was kind of wish-washy like the whole way, but the ending's pretty good.
Yeah. I like the I like the whole like thing with Doctor Octopus because I was like the whole time me and Brabdo were cracking jokes about Doctor Octopus being evil, and then he does this little like thing at the end where he's like, oh no, I'm fully like lucid now, and Peter has to sit there and be like, yeah, it's chill, I'm just gonna dip, and I thought that was good.
You know what's stupid about this game? You spend probably 90% of the time defending villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is this some sort of like political statement being made by the game here? Like, you're telling the chief of police not to shoot the mafia guy. Why? Guy's a mass murderer. You're saving. The main plot is saving Norman Osborn. You know he's a villain. He's not a nice
Well,
guy.
you don't really know. He's not really a villain yet.
Right, but we as the audience know Norman Osborn is the Green Goblin. There's no
Right.
If you've seen any Spider-Man movie, you know that that's like the most important thing about him.
But I guess in Spider-Man's context, he doesn't know he's a villain. He's just a shitty guy
Yeah.
at the moment.
He is like a really shitty guy. It's like, so it is kind of silly that
You get that little Venom teaser at the end.
yeah. So what that is kind of stupid because it's like I thought Venom was an alien, so I don't know where they're going with that. I guess
They made Harry Venom or some shit. Like
Harry is gonna be Venom.
got
Yeah,
him
'cause
hooked
that's-
up to like the Final Fantasy Crisis Core Sephiroth tube, dude.
Because that's
kind of a
the plot of
reveal,
2.
Because they're like, oh, he's in Europe or something, and then like,
Yeah.
at the end of the game, they're like, no, he's been cooking in the chamber this whole time.
Yeah. Everybody in this game got cancer. There's like spine cancer here and fucking everybody is dying of cancer.
Oh,
Oh,
speaking of dying.
that- What are you gonna say? The Aunt May?
Yeah, Aunt May.
Yep, yep.
It's the most convenient death ever. Like,
Yep.
it's so stupid.
It was a good. I thought that was good. I was like, yeah.
They're like, she only has like however many days to live, and then he's there, and she's like, she's dying now, and you could save her, but then we can't save everybody else.
Well,
And you have to sit there and pretend like Spider-Man is gonna make the decision that doesn't save everybody else. Like, come on, we know where this is going.
That's the only person he truly killed, if you think about it.
Well,
I
when I
mean-
was watching the cutscene, I'm like, they said it would be like an hour to a day, dude, just hang out. Cause he's like sitting there and he's like, oh, do I put it in here? I'm like, no, dude, it's fine. Turns out she's fucking dead.
Yeah, and it is crazy how it's just like, oh, Osborne Industries, they just cooked up the cure to this random thing. They just have it, but they only have a vial enough for one dose, and then they just take it, and they can, given that dose, create more doses for everybody else in like an hour, but not soon enough to save Aunt May. It's like it's just really contrived.
There's so much shit in this game where it's like, yeah, this doesn't really make sense. We'll keep moving forward, but some of the shit's just so like
nonsense.
Yeah.
It's to the point where I don't know why Peter Parker wears a mask. Because everybody fucking knows he's Spider-Man, dude. Mary Jane knows he's Spider-Man. Aunt May knows he's Spider-Man. Dr. Octopus knows he's Spider-Man. I'm sure Norman knows that he's Spider-Man now. Like,
yeah, Doc Ock was going to tell everybody, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that's his threat. I'll keep your secret.
I'll just keep your little secret safe with me.
I think that's true in most instances of Doc Ock. I think Doc Ock always knows Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
Yeah.
The only, like, Miles didn't, which is kind of dumb, but
then he finds out.
Yeah.
But it is kind of, like, dumb.
What about, what's this face, the podcast shit that keeps popping up?
Yeah, the J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
J. Jonah Jameson, because I would just hear snippets of him. I never went out of my way to listen to this guy. But at one point, he's like,
"You know, it's cut off. If you do anything, you have to like stand there and wait for the thing to go. Or
you can turn it off too.
Yeah.
Right.
But at one point, he's like,
it just cuts him off.
He's like, yeah, I made this, like, we were working on a thing to, like, make a new guy that's not as bad, like, Spider-Man's a crook, and I made this guy. How was I supposed to know he was also a piece of shit, or something like that? And I'm like, dude, what is he doing, dude? Like...
It's just like Rush Limbaugh Spider-Man.
Yeah, they're heavily Alex Jones coded, which I think is kind of cringe.
Oh, yeah, at one time he was talking about, like, he was like, yeah, no, they're rebuilding the city and helping the homeless, but that doesn't do anything for my tax money. And I'm like, okay, dude.
It doesn't.
Also, raise your hands if you knew the leader of Feast was Mr. Negative. Anybody? Anybody able to catch that one?
I mean, maybe slightly before it was revealed, but it was kind of a little bit of a surprise, I guess.
Well, you knew he was bad when he's like, I have to go.
Yep, that was the moment. I'm like, huh.
So he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is it Mr. Because I'm not familiar with Mr. Negative. I feel like I know all the Spider-Man villains, but Mr. Negative I didn't know anything about.
He has become my favorite Spider-Man villain.
Oh, okay.
He has... I did not know about Mr. Negative before this. He is my favorite Spider-Man villain now because he sits there and his superpower is convincing people of negativity, like this pessimistic-ass attitude, so they could join him. And his second superpower is being a negative, like, vision. Like, he's just got, like, a negative body. It's fucking wild.
On paper, it sounds so
Mr.
fucking
Negative
dumb.
Is a character that was created in, like, 2007, so it is a very new character, as it turns out, in the pantheon of Spider-Man villains.
Yeah, no, I loved Venom was my favorite Spider-Man villain for 20 years, and now I got Mr. Negative. He should be called Mr. On the Nose, dude, because like that's your superpower. You can shoot beams of negative energy, and you can transport people into a world where you try to convince them that shit sucks, and your body is just photo negative. That's fucking hilarious.
And he blew his parents up.
Yeah,
right.
They exploded
In the big reveal, you find out that his parents got exploded by him, and it's all Harry Osborn's fault, so he wants him dead. But, like, the fact that they can't kill Harry Osborn is actually crazy, given the lengths that they go to do, like, everything else. You would think it would be relatively trivial to just find out where this guy is at any one moment and, like, kill him using your, like, army of dudes.
They literally came closer to killing Spider-Man multiple times.
Right.
Oh, also, I hated when Spider-Man almost dies the first fight with fucking Doc Ock.
Yeah.
And they're just, like, working on him in the suit.
That was
like,
kind of stupid.
I was like, I get it, but at the same time, like, what are they doing?
No, Spider-Man, he's not gonna make it. No!
I also came out of this game thinking that Norman Oswald was fucking a gangster, dude. He's standing on business, because he is on a 150 fucking story building, getting dangled off of it by a lunatic with metal arms, and he's just
like, go ahead and drop me. I don't give a fuck.
He's like, drop me. You're fucking
Go ahead and
useless,
drop
dude. I'm like, dude, this guy's standing on fucking business.
That was probably the best moment of the story of the game, to be honest. That guy is definitely hard as hell.
Dude's a fucking savage. He's ruthless.
Wait
He's
till
like,
he
go ahead
turns
and drop me
green.
off this building. I don't give a rat's ass.
And they really made him look like Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean? It's 1 for 1.
I don't think so.
Looks just like him.
You know, I'll let you keep that one.
Who doesn't look? Miles looks horrible.
Miles is, yeah, I don't. His whole character kind of feels really tacked on to the story.
For some reason, like, some character models looked really good, and then some character models looked absolutely atrocious. But, like, all of the environments in the game looked great for me. Like, I thought
all the environments looked like shit because they don't really want you to stop moving and actually look at things.
Yeah, kinda. Like, okay, yeah, I guess you're right. Moving around, everything looks good.
It looks sick. It looks like you're
Yeah.
fucking Spider-Man whipping around. But as soon as you're not moving, it's like, oh.
Yeah, unless you got a 4090 with the RTX on, which is not going to happen.
Oh, and attention to detail. That was a big one. In Times Square, they got all these posters and shit and all of these, like, advertisements for, like, fake shit. And it has one of my favorite bits ever in a game. It's a fucking movie poster, and the movie's called The Man with the Dark Past. And all I could keep thinking about is fucking every League of Legends character has a deep, dark past.
That's a fire meme.
Yeah, so it's like I just kept saying that every time I fucking like drove past it. The man with the dark past, dude. I'm gonna see that movie. If there's an option to go to the theater, dude, I'm watching it.
So we got to mention this because it was a big sticking point for some of the people in the chat. What do you guys think about the non-Spider-Man sections of the game?
I didn't mind them.
So, in theory, I don't like shit like that, but they did a pretty good job at making it.
I think it was that bad either. Why is everyone who ever talked about who had played this game was like, oh, the game was great except for when you're not playing as Spider-Man half the time. Bro, it's like not even 15% of the game, and like every time it does happen, it's not that bad. I didn't think it was that bad in any of the circumstances.
They could have, like, playing as Mary Jane is really not that bad at all.
Like they get the cutscene, and the checkpoints are so generous.
There was one portion where I was about to rage, genuinely about to rage. It's the only it was the most aggravating part of the game for me, and it was a Mary Jane section. It's where you got to find the code to the fucking door in Norman Oswald's penthouse suite or whatever the fuck. And I'm looking for a code for like 20 minutes, dude. And I'm like, where the fuck is this code? You're not looking for a code. You're looking for a key. And the key is on the back of a picture. And that pissed me off to no end.
I didn't have any problems finding that. I don't know what you did wrong. The game kind of dangles it right in front of you.
All right.
I get that. I must have like zones out or something. Like maybe I was autopiloting, but I think I missed an important like thing because she's always talking, dude. Like everyone's always talking in this game. Spider-Man's always talking, and Mary Jane's always talking.
That's like modern AAA game design, though. It's like tell the story while you move around.
Yeah,
which is fine, and I didn't have any problems finding that thing.
The only puzzle
that actually bothered me, the only puzzle that bothered me was when you're in the museum and you're doing the statue, and it's like, oh, make the statue be like this pose, dude. And then it wasn't the right pose. Like that's not the way. Like,
yeah,
why is that not the solution to this puzzle? I'm like, I posed it exactly like how it is in the picture, and they're like, no, you got to go grab the stick and put it in the hand, and then that just unlocks it.
I think the worst is I played on controller, and for some reason, when you move the analog sticks in any of those like investigative scenes, the fucking sensitivity is a million. So I had to use the mouse.
I would switch to the mouse for every single thing that made me move something in those scenes. Because you have to do the circuit boards. You can't use the controller. Yeah, you can't use the controller in the circuit boards. It's fucking impossible.
Yeah, I did use the mouse, but I don't know if I would agree that it was like impossible. But it was definitely better to use
It's
the
more
mouse. But yeah.
frustrating than it needs to be. 100%.
No, there was points where I was like, I literally cannot get it to land on this thing to click inspect. I was like, what the fuck? And yeah, like the DNA sequencing shit, it's just so much easier to use the mouse.
Yeah, you just drag and drop. It's like way faster.
Those aren't that bad either. I kind of like doing those. Same with the circuit boards.
The problem is you didn't really get anything good for doing it. You get like the research tokens, but you could just
Yeah.
get enough research tokens just by doing the research stations, anyways. So I had like a huge surplus of research tokens, and I maxed everything out. So I don't know what the heck you're supposed to spend the rest of these research tokens on. And I don't even think I did all of them. I just did most of them.
I think I did all of them in the lab, but it's like you really don't get that many because you only get them at the end.
I didn't do all of them in the lab. I forgot to go back towards the end of the game.
Oh, you probably can't, right? Yeah.
Well, you probably can, but I just didn't think to go back because the game doesn't bring you there again.
Oh, and it doesn't really show that there's like it's not like a thing on the map either.
Like, oh, you've unlocked new things. You kind of just show up like at several different points of the game.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's new things here when you go to do the thing. But at that point, if I've already unlocked everything, why am I gonna finish the rest of these puzzles? It's
What was
useless.
the name of the cop that you broke into the warehouse with?
Oh, you mean Miles'
Oh.
dad?
Yeah.
I forget something Davidson.
Yeah. Jackson Davidson or some shit like
That's
that.
No, it was something Washington, right?
let's not be.
Well, yeah, that's what I kept calling him, Ulysses Washington, dude, because I thought I was.
Oh,
Come on now, come on, not on Pride Month, not on Pride Month.
I got
man.
mixed up with the
Yeah.
with the RoboCop.
I'm like, we're gonna spend more time with Ulysses Washington.
Yeah, throwback to
Jefferson
RoboCop.
Davis.
Jefferson
Yeah,
Davis,
it
my
was
bad. My bad.
Not even close.
Dude.
Not even close, dude.
But that's funny because he's the president of the Confederacy.
Yeah.
Isn't that like there's some joke there.
But yeah, what else was I saying? I got sidetracked on the movement thing. I really want to hone in on like how not awesome it is to be doing anything aside from web slinging with Spider-Man. Like climbing up walls sucks. Like going to specific spots that you want to get to, but the game doesn't have like a little like auto click to it thing sucks.
Were you guys like keeping track of the milestones?
Not super crazy.
So like I
once in a while.
you get like 50 experience for doing that, so it's like whatever. But like still, I'm looking at it and I'm like, you need to do 2,500 point launches in order to like max out the point launch one. And I played and I did like went out of my way to do as many point launches as possible during the whole thing. Played the entire game 86%, and then did all four of the DLC, however many DLCs there are. I did them all. And at the end of all that, I had like 2,100. So I'm just like, how much more time do I got to spend playing this game before you consider me a WebZip master?
And you don't get anything, right?
And
I
you
guess
don't
it
get
counts
anything for doing it,
because
really,
it counts towards completion, though, right? Like 100%, I would assume.
I don't know if it does or not. If it does, that's very lame because a lot of them is like get 50 hit combos, and you need to get like 250 hit combos. I ended the game with like 20.
Yeah, anytime a milestone would pop up, I go, they're tracking this every single time. Because I'd be like, oh, shit.
It's like wall running. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Like tricks. I do tricks here and there. They're like, you did 70 tricks. I'm like, what? Why?
I love that they added tricks, though.
Yeah. No, that made it feel great.
I just wish you didn't have to burn a skill point on it. But then again, there's really not a lot to do in the skill tree.
No, the skill tree is pretty lackluster, honestly. There's some cool shit in there, but a lot of it's not that great.
I'm just trying to imagine like going through the game without unlocking that one ability that lets you throw the rockets back. It shit would be a miserable.
Yeah.
That is like so necessary.
Especially on the higher difficulty, I assume.
Right. They launch rockets like every 5 seconds. It's absurd.
I died on Doc Ock.
You died on Doc Ock?
Well, because he goes to the top of like the lightning rod or the fucking the radio tower, and then the whole ground is the floor is lava, dude. The whole ground's on fire, and I'm like, what hit me?
You
And
gotta
there's just like,
swing.
yeah, and I'm just like, there's fire around me. I'm sure that
Spider-Man.
the whole ground is fire.
I knew
I
I
s-
wasn't losing that shit as soon as they gave me an anti-suit to beat the final boss. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
losing this shit.
I stopped dying as soon as they gave me like the third health bar, the third like focus bar.
Yeah, you just have so much health.
As soon
and
as I
then,
had
yeah.
the third focus bar, like I just stopped dying straight up. So they definitely make you feel stronger at the end of the game than the beginning of the game. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
And then you get that ability where it's like if you almost die, it goes in slow motion. So it's like you know when to pop it every time too.
Right, and it would like it never came up. I never like I died a bunch at the beginning of the game, but then like by the end of the game, I like never died.
I really like the Rhino fight, not because it was like a good fight per se, but because the dialogue between Rhino and Scorpion was hilarious.
I hated that fight, because I tried to kill Rhino first. You can't.
No,
No.
you can't.
That's what I was
I
trying to
was
do too.
running out of things to hit Rhino with. I'm like, there's nothing left on the map here. What's going on?
I did
'Cause you-
that with the bird and the electric guy.
Yeah, and you just have to kill Scorpion, and then Rhino just dies. I'm just like, what? That's like lame.
And it makes sense to go after Rhino because you've already been fighting him. So you think
Exactly.
he's
You're like,
almost
oh,
dead.
he's like 1 or 2 taps, so you might as well take him out first. But then it's like, no, you have to kill Scorpion first. It's like, why?
Now the Rhino fight with Miles. Now we're talking.
Oh, where
Yeah.
you're hiding? That felt
Or-
like a whole new game.
That's
That
what
felt
I'm
like,
saying. Like the non-Spider-Man shit's actually kind of fun. It mixes it up.
It is kind of cool.
It's not great, but it's not like unbearable.
Like if that was the whole game, I wouldn't have played it. But
No.
I think Miles had a great intro for like setting, but horrible intro for personality because he's like you're like in a catastrophe and you're trying to like fucking maneuver around and make sure you're not hit and it's like this the big shit's going on and he's like, I guess I could use my hacking software. And I'm like,
Right.
shut up, Miles. I don't care about your fucking hacking software, dude.
and then he's like, oh, I got to do all my high school schoolwork. I'm like, brother, if you're inventing hacking software, you did not spend more than 5 seconds on your school homework. I don't like. What are we doing here?
They definitely forced him in for sure. He does not need to be. I get why they did it, but he does not need to be in the game. Adds nothing.
And I don't know what the timeline was for you guys, but it has to be pretty long because it's like a mission and a half out. The homeless shelter is on fire, and is
Yeah.
getting raided by like inmates, and you're just like doing extra shit. And it's like for me, it was like 2.5 hours of it being on fire, and then Peter's like, "Yeah, I guess I'll go save them."
I'll show up. Then the whole city gets taken over by Sable, and they're just all over the damn place. And you're like,
Yeah.
what is-
You can't web sling without getting shot with a sniper.
Be riots in the streets if this was real.
Who's the chick with the 2 guns?
That's
Sable.
Sable.
That's Sable. Do you fight her in the DLC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, that was what I was missing, is that
But she's actually a good guy, as it turns out.
Oh my fucking
Well,
god.
she's South African. She's trying to end apartheid in some America.
Swakovian? It's
Yeah.
Swakovian? Okay, get it right. It's totally a real country.
Yeah, I was waiting the whole game to fight her and I
And you
should've played
know
the
Mary
DLC.
Jane put the flag in her Twitter bio at the end of the DLC when she's like, I'm gonna go to Swakovia because the world needs to know about the genocide in Swakovia. I'm like, honey, that's great. I don't think anybody is gonna care.
What if that was Spider-Man 2?
It probably is in Spider-Man.
You're just feeding.
I hope
feeding
Spider-Man 2 doesn't
refugees.
talk about Silver Sable at all. I don't think the character is very good.
Mary Jane gaslights so fucking hard. Gaslight girl boss gatekeeper, whatever the fuck, dude. Because she is sitting here and she's like, we broke up because you think I'm fragile and I made of glass and I can't do anything. What's she do? She jumps off a fucking building and goes, better save me or I'm gonna die.
I hope Spider-Man's here at this exact moment.
Yeah. It's like now or never. All right, I guess I'll just
No. I'm gonna defend that because you were saying, fucking Osborn is badass for doing that. Did the same thing.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Fine. There's hypocrisy here. But I didn't have to hear
Hold
Osborn.
on.
I didn't have to hear Osborn say
Osborn
how
didn't know
Osborn
Spider-Man was gonna be
knew.
there.
He knew that fucker was coming.
He knew Spider-Man was in the vicinity. He could sense it.
I didn't have to hear Osborn say, "Oh, stop like babying me," you know?
Well, I mean, he said a lot of other dumb shit.
Yeah, he did.
It's not. We can't shit on one character and then you can't be like, this guy stands on business.
Well, I
He
was
fell
just
off the
astonished. I'm
building.
like, you don't want me to save you, but you're gonna jump off a building where I have to save you? Okay, I got you.
It was more of a
Let me
teamwork.
sneak into a heavily armed building with no weapons and no training and try to get this
Whoa,
scoop.
she's got a stun gun.
That is true. She does steal a stun gun. And after
I
that,
feel
she's a
like-
boss. Then it's like you're playing Metal Gear Solid, dude.
Right, the stun
Oh,
gun.
my favorite part of the DLC, you kill Hammerhead and then he's revived with a stun gun.
Yeah, I'm like, as soon as I saw him in the hospital, I'm like, and on the ambulance, I'm like, no, dude.
That was the fucking undercover cop knocks out the EMT and stun guns him back to life. I'm like, all right, we're jumping sharks now.
What is going on here? And after like Spider-Man tried so hard to get the police chick to not shoot him in the head, and then she shoots him in the head anyways, but then he doesn't die, and then
So it takes
He-
away all the fucking
he goes
drama.
into the freaking the ambulance completely unsupervised. Just one cop there, who happens to be a dirty cop, as it turns out. And it's like, oh, we got to get all the mafia has a joint account with 5 flash drives, and they can't get to the account without all 5 of the. Who? That's so dumb. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
They got all 5
Why would
crypto
they do
hashes,
that?
dude. You
Oh,
gotta
okay,
combine
yeah,
them for the
it's like,
wallet.
we gotta combine our money together, and only if we have all 5 of the flash drives. What if one of the flash drives gets destroyed? Then the money is what, gone forever? It's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, the DLC is.
That is
Not
so
good.
whack. I don't know what the hell they were thinking on that one. But
I
it's
feel like
supposed to be
parts of the
fun.
main game are like that too. I just felt like there was missions like, what is the fucking point of this?
Yeah, there's a lot of that, I think, that I'm not thinking about.
The biggest
it-
one was the poison, the world filling up with poison and you having to make an antidote one. That was blatant padding, in my opinion. I did not
Well,
like that at all.
I don't think that was padding just because like they tried to add like a thing in for each one of those guys.
Yeah. I mean,
So they had to give them something.
I think it was like I feel like it was somebody's like pet project, and they're like, we need to get this in, and they like went out on it, like they did a whole thing, but I just didn't like the section, because it was like, I don't know, not necessarily jarring, but like it was too different from the rest of the game, and a lot of it was just like there was one portion where you had to like you couldn't even web sling to it. You had to target web jump, and there's a lot of sections in this game where you have to do like a specific mechanic over and over
Yeah.
again. Which, I mean, this game. Some games don't feel like a game. This game feels like a game at times. It's like you could strip it down to bare bones and say this is what they wanted you to do. This is how you have to do it, and there's no other way to do it. Like the boss fights. Where it's like fucking dodge this, and then the big like triangle will come out. It'll be like press triangle, press Y. Like when you're fighting Doc Ock as well. After you're on the side of the building fighting him. You can't like
Yeah.
web shoot him or do any extra cool stuff. You can't use your stuff. You have to just punch him to death, which is fine. I thought that was a cool scene as well.
That was one of those like when you were talking about the cinematic shit. I was like, oh, that was cool. Even though it goes on a little too long,
Yeah.
but it was still pretty cool.
Yeah, the set pieces were tremendous. Like if it didn't have these huge like over the top like set piece, it's like Vanquish. Like Vanquish was just like a wild ride of crazy set pieces.
No, fuck that game, dude.
That was a fun game, dude.
Sure, but I'm not gonna throw out set pieces when the dude's smoking a 40-foot cigarette, dude.
He smokes a cigarette flicks it at a bullet and directs it away from his face. That's badass.
Yeah, it
Bro, that
doesn't
is
help.
some
It was
Metal Gear Solid shit right
yeah,
there.
worse.
Worse.
It was so dumb. It's
The
the size of
cigarette
his
is the
fucking
main
head.
character of that game.
I couldn't get over that shit.
Dude, when the guy tries to fight him on the ship and he cuts the fucking cigarette in half and goes, "No smoking."
Yeah, dude. That's a cheesy ass game.
But they added more. I like what they did with the villains in this game because they added a lot of them, way more than I thought they would.
The
I don't
Sinister
know, but I
Six,
feel
dude.
like the game kind of gives off, oh, we're saving the good villains for the next game.
Yeah, because there's a lot of B-side villains.
No Green Goblin, no Hobgoblin, no Venom, no Carnage, like none of the.
Doc Ock, but
You
gotta
get
have
Doc Ock.
somebody.
Oh, at the end of the game, you get Doc Ock. Like,
Yeah,
I know
Doc Ock
Frisk is fucking lame, and that's like a third of the game.
right.
Does Kingpin come back in the DLC?
No.
So Kingpin
Yeah,
actually
no.
is just in jail.
It's They replaced Kingpin with Hammerhead, basically.
Which is basically the same character, but even dumber.
But like way dumber.
I
Oh,
thought
and
that
also he becomes cybernetic because he fucking. Because why not?
At the end of literally they did a whole RoboCop ending thing there.
I thought that once they did the prison riot thing, that there was gonna be it was done. Like Frisk was gonna come back and be Kingpin, but you never
would think, but it never happens.
you never get the second
I guess he
Kingpin fight.
stays in prison. I don't know how the hell that happens when every other prisoner got out.
And it's crazy because they fucking were like spoon feeding him constantly, and then he just
Yes.
falls off like.
No, he just gets complete. Like as soon as Mr. Negative shows up, they don't talk about Fisk ever again.
But yeah, I didn't know like 90% of the villains. Actually, I think Doc Ock is the only one I was new.
Oh, you don't know about the Sinister Six? I mean, like Electro, Scorpion,
Electro's
definitely knew
dumb.
Shocker.
You definitely knew Rhino.
I knew
Rhino.
Rhino, yeah, because Rhino's in every Spider-Man game.
No Sandman.
Yeah, there was no Sandman, but this electric plasma ball guy, dude. We're going over Doc Ock's like favors that he did for everybody, and he's like, yeah, he just wants to be pure energy.
Yeah, like
I'm like, that's so dumb.
Mean?
I think that's just a normal Spider-Man thing, though. That's like baked in the Spider-Man lore.
I love Rhino's. Rhino's is he doesn't want to be Rhino anymore. He's fucking sick of it. He's cashed out. I thought that was dope.
Like you would think that he would act differently if that was the case, but I guess not.
Also, what would Rhino look like without the suit? He's still 9 feet tall, ripped out of his gourd.
You look like Jack.
Oh, I went through the this is the characters and the thing. Just like not a single character in that game under the height of 5'5".
Damn.
Yeah, no, I that's so funny because I was looking at this. I'm like, how tall is fucking Peter
Right.
Parker? I'm like,
They
because
tell you,
I was like, Black Cat looks tall. They're the exact same size. I'm like,
yeah,
what
they're
the
the same
fuck, dude?
height.
And then
Yeah.
Miles Morales, they're like, he's 5'8", but in Spider-Man 2, he's 5'10 and a half.
It gets a little growth spurt. It pains me to know that the only character in that game that's shorter than me is Aunt May and Miles Morales.
'Cause how,
Me and Sable are the same height, and then everyone else is fucking taller than me. That's crazy.
how tall is Mary Jane in the?
She's 5'8" straight.
Yeah, 5'8", yeah.
Okay, we're the same height. Whatever. Short kings rise up.
Miles Morales.
Oh, also it's the spider. The spider sticks to on the back of Mary Jane's coat for like several hours,
Yeah. So like, how can we get Miles
then
Morales
hops
to be
off of her.
Spider-Man?
and then it's like the dumb like. I can't believe how contrived that was, getting the spider to Miles Morales just so he could get bit. Like, It sets it up like you think that Mary Jane's gonna get bit.
That's what I was kind of thinking, because I'm like,
right,
okay.
but I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure this doesn't like if anybody's getting bit by a spider in this game, it's gonna be Miles Morales, being as how they have a whole, you know, game with him in it.
Does anyone know the canonical timeline between Mary Jane transferring over to Gwen Stacy? Or are those two different Spider-Mans?
I think they're different, right?
I mean, I think you either gotta like they're just different.
Is it like a different universe? Is this
the Mary Jane Gwen Stacy Spider-Man dynamic is like different in every instance.
Okay.
Because in like I think like in the Amazing Spider-Man, like there is no Mary Jane, it's just Gwen Stacy, and then in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, there's Gwen Stacy, but she's just some chick that works for J. Jonah, and they don't really flesh that out. And I don't think there is a Gwen Stacy in the Marvel movies, the MCU.
Did Mary Jane make it into the Avengers? Like, is she in the Avengers movie?
What do you mean?
Like, they got Spider-Man. Oh wait, no, they have the Amazing Spider-Man one, because it's not Tobey Maguire, so it would be Gwen Stacy.
No, it's Tom
Stanley
Holland.
said Gwen is the one true love of Spider-Man.
Is that
so? It's not even Mary Jane.
Just the fling, according to Stan.
That's wild.
I don't know if I buy that.
That's crazy.
Movies, Gwen, comics, MJ. I don't know. Spider-Man lore seems fucked.
It's all over the place.
Cooked. And then sometimes Gwen Stacy becomes another Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen, dude.
Right.
Well, especially once they
that version.
Once they went multiverse, it was like you knew the whole thing was gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
They're like, how can we retcon everything at once?
Yeah. New Spider-Man, and he can go into any fucking universe. Now we got Nicolas Cage as the detective Spider-Man.
Who is coming back? He's gonna be in the MCU, I think.
Yeah. Getting his own TV show on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh God. I'm so dude. I haven't even watched a Marvel MCU movie in quite some time.
I don't think I've watched any.
You ever seen any MCU movie?
Does Iron Man 1 count?
Yes, it does.
That's the only one, I think.
You could stop on that one.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
I like Iron Man 2 and 3. They're good.
Those original Spider-Man movies don't count, right?
No, only the new ones.
Yeah, I haven't seen those. I've seen like the first one, maybe the second one.
That's actually crazy. I don't know how you.
Those movies, there's just no appeal. Like,
you
I
should
get
watch.
that I understand that you haven't like gone at it, but like it's always like, oh, we're gonna go see a movie. Like, oh, we're just gonna go watch an MCU movie. Okay, I'm wrong.
No, I'm dipping out.
He's out there.
I'm not watching.
You're gonna do anything else.
I'm not watching no Endgame.
We watched every Harry Potter. I think we could make it through the Avengers.
There's definitely some skippers, some ones that you can skip, but a lot of them are actually.
I'm not watching Thor. It's not
watch
happening.
Aquaman.
Thor, you don't need to watch. Hold on, you don't have to watch Thor.
You don't gotta watch Thor. Do you have to watch Captain America?
Captain America is one of the better ones.
Because I'm not a fan of Captain America or Thor.
They're good movies.
Because I've seen the first Thor like 17 times, and then fucking
everything pre-Avengers 1, I think is pretty good.
Yeah, I've never seen the Avengers movies though.
And then the Avengers movie is like all right, but it's really like, it's like corny.
Oh, you know what? I've seen Deadpool, the first one.
There you go. That's technically not an MCU movie.
Oh, there we go. I'm dodging them.
I guess it's closer to like a Fox movie than an MCU movie, but it with the multiverse shit, it's kind of, they don't mention Deadpool one time.
Do I have to watch
any of the other
She-Hulk?
Marvel movies? You do not have to watch She-Hulk. In fact, if you find yourself watching She-Hulk,
I mean, Luke watched it.
you just won't make it through. You just won't finish it. I refuse to believe that you will watch.
Luke
She-Hulk
finished it.
again. I don't know how he did. More power to him. if he thought it was all right.
Why would anyone want to watch? Like the idea of it's not even fucking cool.
You know what's funny though is that people actually liked the She-Hulk's character pre the show coming out, right? Like, it's like a respected comic book character. Like the story arcs are like decent,
Which
and then
is
like
fucking
the show
stupid.
came out, and they really butchered everything.
I can't wait for Disney to put all of the Marvel people with the Mandalorian and make Star Wars Marvel.
Dude, that's what's gonna happen.
I don't think they ever
The
will.
multiverse. I'm just waiting for them to fully abandon the sequel trilogy and just restart that, maybe slightly better. But if Mandalorian season 3 is anything to go over, probably we could just consider Star Wars to be a wrap, and they're never coming out with anything else. Everything that comes out in Star Wars world, I'm gonna just pretend doesn't exist.
I give this game an 8.
An 8, huh? I'm thinking 8 seems reasonable.
Now
but
we're gonna
I
get low
kinda
tier
like
god copywriting this video, dude.
Maybe I like it a little bit more than 8.
See, I was down to almost a 7 at one point.
All right, I'm definitely going 8 then. Because how could I say it's a 9? That's crazy.
It's not a
an
9.
It's a solid 8.
You could give it an 8.5. I just think it does have like some clear flaws.
It's just not a very. I guess it just depends on how much you've been waiting to play a decent Spider-Man game, right? Because there were like a bunch of Spider-Man game stinkers out there previously to this game.
Yeah.
My main thing for giving it an 8 is that it had no technical flaws for me, and that's rare in gaming for me. And secondly, I would put it higher. I would go to a 9. However, I wanted to play a Spider-Man game really bad before this game. It scratched the itch about 75% the way through, and by the end I was like, I'm good on Spider-Man games for as long as I could possibly think.
You wouldn't play a sequel?
No.
See, I'm interested in the sequels. I enjoyed the game.
I gotta wait like at least a year before I hop on the sequel. And I don't know if I want to play Miles Morales at all. I feel like if they're just gonna start yapping on that character even more, I don't even know if I'm interested in.
The only compelling thing about Miles is I guess it's only like a 6-hour game. So it's like
Crazy. Why wasn't it just a DLC? That's
right. It should have just been the DLC instead of the fucking random shit they threw on.
Hammerhead, bro. No, Hammerhead is the best Spider-Man villain.
I don't see. I enjoyed it enough to want to play the second game, but also I don't think like everything it does is B+ at best. I can't be like this is the one thing it does that's like an A. I can't think of a single thing.
I kind of like the Mary Jane Spider-Man banter. It feels a little fresh. Because most of the Spider-Man games is like Mary Jane just being pissed at Spider-Man like the whole time. So the fact that we now have a person who's like acting at least slightly reasonably is a little refreshing.
It was a little more dynamic than just fucking all one way.
You know, they're like, you know, they're yapping at each other, and it's like, okay, cool. So yeah, 8, a solid 8. I agree with that.
I think the only thing that really stood out was like the small little tidbits. Like this game is full of small. Like you go to Mary Jane's apartment and she has a Spider-Man plushie. I think that's hilarious. Like all of that little shit.
In the DLC, a cop has a Spider-Man watch, and then he dies.
Yeah, that is really. I'm
Um,
like, as soon as I saw all like, cause like cops were dying and they showed a cop, I'm like, is that the guy? Is that the Spider-Man watch guy? I'm like, this guy's not making it. He's like, oh my. It's like when you watch a movie and the cop's like, oh, it's my last day until I retire. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's smoked. He's like, I got this Spider-Man watch that my son gave it to me. Like, all right, well, see you later, dude. Ain't making it out of this one.
And that's what was so fucking the Yuri person. Like, she did not give a fuck that everyone else died except that guy.
Right. Like, dudes have been dying this whole time and she don't care. But then all of a sudden she wants to go, like, sicko mode.
that was
dude with the
Yuri's whole
Spider-Man watch.
character is like despondency. Just like there's just a disposition for everything.
Well, that's the DLC. She goes fucking nuts and goes on a murdering rampage.
Gotcha.
Then she gets put on administrative leave.
That fits. That is really in line with what happens in real life.
I don't think that would happen at all. I think that if you shot, if one of the cops was there, shot Al Capone in the head, like mid nonsense, they would have been like, okay, great. You can you don't have to retire. Just be chilling.
I don't know if we can compare Hammerhead to Al Capone.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think of like a guy who's like
Tony Soprano.
Yeah, so Tony Soprano.
If they
But
add
like
Tony
he's on
Soprano,
video killing people.
if
It's
they
like,
add Tony Soprano to multiverses, everything's forgiven.
No, come on now.
I think even
Walter
then.
White though.
Oh my god.
Well, they put Banana Guard in the game.
Well,
and
that's
people
my
are
main,
like,
so let's
what?
calm down.
Well, your main. You never play that game again.
What do
Talk
you-
about your main.
My side B character.
Your side B character.
It's his Wario, dude. I was
Wario
climbing
with
up
no shield.
I was climbing up a side of the building and I saw a Spider-Man action figure, and I just want to know how many of the man hours were put into this game to put little tidbits in. That's the main thing that stood out the entire time.
Most of it.
I can't believe you wouldn't play the second one.
I'm just Spider-Man'd out, dude. I feel like I got more than enough Spider-Man for
But in like a
Oh,
year.
maybe in a
Wouldn't be
year,
interested?
because
Spider-Man too.
I go through these bouts where I'm like, I really just want to fucking swing on this goddamn web right now, dude. And it's all
Honestly, I don't know if we really talked about the web. It really did make you feel.
yeah. I just
Spider-Man.
feel like Spider-Man.
I just felt like Spider-Man. Not enough. IGN 7 out of 10. Not enough Spider-Man.
Not enough. Yeah, not enough water.
yeah.
Yeah, it's an 8.
An 8.
That's an
Okay.
8. All right.
It's a unanimous 8.
That happens very rarely, actually. We should be keeping track of all of this.
I think
they
that
call it?
happened last game though. I think Terminator. Or not Terminator. Fucking
Might as well
RoboCop.
be Terminator.
The other
we
80s
had to have the
robot movie.
7 conversation again, though. We don't have to have the 7 conversation here.
Are 7 banned? Or we're not allowed to give 7s out?
I feel as though I have given enough 7 games, not a 7, to earn myself a 7 now.
I think that RoboCop is like the most 7 game of all time, though, is it not?
I think it could go lower.
It could go,
Okay,
it
maybe
could go lower.
No, I'm thinking about it again. Maybe 6 is.
It could go lower.
There is a world where that game could have been a 7 then.
That's a game that I'm coming back to now in my head, and I'm like, the scores keeps going down little by little.
If
Yeah, you don't like Ulysses Washington?
the game
That character in the world?
if the game made the therapy sessions matter, it would probably rest at a 7 for me.
They do,
That
man.
lives
They
or
don't.
die.
They don't canonically. Canonically, his brain shit had nothing to do with a fucking with anything. It was just a lighter.
All right, we should probably wrap this. We're going off the rails.
That's fair. Any closing statements on Spider-Man?
It's a game.
It's a game.
It's a
It's
game.
it's a Spider-Man. If you like Spider-Man, this is a must-play, I guess.
Yeah, this is 100% Spider-Man fan game.
If you don't like Spider-Man, you got no business playing this game.
It's
That's
the
all there is.
best Spider-Man game made. What a
Whoa,
take.
you didn't-
What a
whoa,
take
yeah,
right there.
hold
That's a
on,
Come on now.
crazy take.
But you didn't
Come
play
on.
Spider-Man 2 for the GameCube. Hold on.
That one's okay. Amazing Spider-Man PS2. That one's all right.
Actually, it's worth stating that I have tried to capture how Spider-Man 2 first web slinging made me feel, and I haven't been able to do it yet. It's sort of like a drug, where it's like I keep trying to go
I feel
back
like
to
it's
that
not as good as you
nostalgia.
remember it.
Have you went back and played that though?
No, I
You
have
should.
not. But I
You should
remember.
and see how it stands up
Which
to this.
Spider-Man game is the one where the thugs go home all the time?
That's a deep cut that I could not
Nah, I have
answer
no idea.
ever. But
I just
Like,
remember
oh,
going from
oh.
Spider-Man 1 on the PS1 and then playing Spider-Man 2 on the PS2, and it was such a fucking crazy experience. And I don't think it's not like a Doom to Doom Eternal type thing. They just haven't been able to like cross that barrier yet for me.
Spider-Man 1 on the PS1 though is a sick game.
Yeah. Which you also fight Rhino in right off the
do.
bat.
And you get cool
Venom's
suits in
in
that
it.
game.
And Black Cat's in it.
Venom
All the-
and
all the
Carnage.
Vendoms are in.
You get Carnage. You can get the Carnage suit.
Yep.
And Jay Jonah is actually cool in that game.
He's cool in this game.
Debatable. He's an Alex Jones, stand-in, but
And that is a wrap. Y'all have a great night.
Dude, what are you doing?
Trying to wrap this up.
Yeah, we
Okay.
haven't even picked the next game.
That's
You're
true.
fucking-
right.
Go on.
Drum roll,
I got
please.
some bad news for you.
Dude, now we got Steven Seagal taking our video down.
What do you think we're playing, dude?
I got no idea.
Sandland.
Sandland.
I was supposed to guess that.
What the hell is that?
What do you mean? What's Sandland? R.I.P.
It's
Akira
a book
Toriyama,
by Akira.
No, it's a game.
It's a Japanese manga illustrated by Akira Toriyama.
R.I.P.
That's the goat.
It's
Alright,
very positive on Steam.
Oh
Came out
shit,
very
dude,
recently.
great.
I've never heard of this game.
Yeah, it came out April.
How have I never heard of this? Maybe it's not good.
The question
Nope.
is, should I read the manga first?
I am not going to
Nope,
do
that's
that.
not a requirement.
All right.
They're calling this game a love letter, so that's a start.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
Anguelo.
Snatch
All
motherfucking
right,
virginity.
Sandland. This is a game I would have never played in my entire life.
That's why it's a great pick.
Yeah, I had no idea. I like cell shaded though.
Vehicular combat action RPG.
Some people say it's the sequel to Blue Dragon.
Oh no!
No, I'm bullshit.
No.
I'm bullshit.
Oh
Don't
wow.
say that.
Oh, that is.
It's got the same art style.
How close is this to like Nino Kuni?
Well, it's vehicular combat, so not at all.
Oh, maybe I just don't understand.
Brabdo, you should
It's
go
like a
back and
string
try to play
shots.
Blue Dragon.
I will not be doing that. Hate to tell you.
No, because we're gonna do an anniversary.
Although I do
Episode.
love Deep Purple, so
That's the only reason to play it anyway.
right. I should just listen to the OST and then call it a day.
This game's got Android 18 in it.
Yeah, I was kind of like,
What?
dude, it's like, okay, no disrespect to Akira Toriyama, but
He has 5 characters he can make.
all his look exactly the fucking same.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, legend.
All right. Looking forward to Sandland.
Let's get it.